I'm Janny Thane. I'm the president of Alexi Enterprises Incorporated, and we operate the fashion website, The House of Alexi, and that's at www.alexiinc.com. I'm with you today because I'd like to give you some tips for packing. I can't say that I'm truly a packing expert, but I have done my fair share of traveling, both on my job and for leisure. And I would like to share some of the secrets that I've learned through the years that have been really helpful to me and have really made travel much easier and much more enjoyable. I hope you learned some things from this. Okay, here we are in my bedroom for the next stage of the packing process. And this is the suitcase that I typically take on a trip. It's amazing how many days of clothes and items you can cram into it if you need to. It's called a weekender, I believe, and this size of suitcase does fit in the overhead bins of an aircraft. I really don't recommend that for an enjoyable travel experience. I think the more we can check at the gate, the less cumbersome travel becomes for us, and it does shorten the lines, there's no question about it. I know many of the airlines charge for checked baggage, but I understand with all the lines and the trouble they're having right now that they're thinking about not doing that to shorten the lines a little more. But this suitcase works well in a lot of situations. It has wheels, it's easy to maneuver, you don't need help when you travel with it. It makes you very self-sufficient, which I like. Okay, we're going to start out by talking about this all-important side pocket here. Didn't realize I zipped it. And this is where you can really save some weight and some bulk from your luggage, because this is all the items that you're going to be using in your bathroom, like your shampoo, your conditioner, your hairspray, your deodorant, and so forth, that if you take the full bottle, they're going to be pretty heavy and pretty bulky. So I'm always looking for the small items that you can get to make this section more compact. And some of them that I wanted to demonstrate here. I found this little generic plastic bottle. I mean, you can get them anywhere, I'm sure. I put enough shampoo in there to try to last me for the trip. And I'm getting, so I can estimate pretty well because I travel a lot. That might hold as many as 5 days of shampoo in it. And it's all you need. You don't need to take a great big bottle. And some people say, well, they have it in the room. Yes, sometimes they do, and you start out great. But the next day, they may not put it in there, and then you're kind of up the creek. So I always take my favorite shampoo in this. I have a similar one for a conditioner, a little bit bigger, and just vary those amounts as I travel. Another good item to have, I find this little bottle of baby oil, which I use for taking off my makeup. It's also kind of handy if something sticks, and or maybe it's good at cleaning things off, maybe something that you've spilt or whatever that needs a little oil removal. I found it to be very, very convenient. Then I found this. This was a great little product. It's a little mini flat iron for travel. One thing I'm sure most of you realize that today almost every hotel and cruise has a hairdryer. So I've long ago stopped taking my dryer. But I usually, if I go to a place that I don't know too much about or I haven't been before, I will give them a call and check or look in their advertisement to make sure that they do have hair dryers. It's, 99.9% sure they will, but it's always good to check if you're not sure. Okay, and then I have another important must is a little tube of toothpaste. Don't take a big bulky tube. That'll last several days, and you can get those at any pharmacy. And contacts, take them. If you wear contacts and you don't have glasses, which I don't, or your glasses can always get broken too. I always take extra contacts. If I'm going to be gone for several days, maybe a couple weeks, I take 2 sets of contacts. If you have to drive home from somewhere and you don't have your contacts, you could really be in trouble, and that's happened to me. So I always am sure that I have extras. Okay, and then finally, have this little sewing kit. I think I got that as a favor at a conference or something, but you can sometimes get these in a hotel room. A very nice hotel room might have them as a little added addition for their guests. Or I'm sure you can buy them. Just keep an eye out for them. They come in very handy, especially if you really are dressing up and you don't want to have to be wearing something that's ripped. And then my favorite and must-have product is my little aluminum flask, which is very, very lightweight, even when it's full of tequila. The only thing is, don't take that on a cruise, because they search your luggage after you board the ship, and if they find alcohol in it, they'll take it out because they want to sell their own. And I had a friend that actually happened to. Now, I have a little trick that I probably shouldn't tell you about, but when I travel on a cruise, I empty a Listerine bottle, and I fill it full of bourbon or tequila, and it just looks like brown Listerine. I usually get away with it when my friends are getting caught. Okay, so keep an eye out for small things that you can take, little contact solution bottles, little deodorants, anything that comes in the travel sizes that you see in the store. Okay, now the next section is where we're going to start actually packing the suitcase, and this is where I put all of my underwear, robes, nightgown, swimsuit if I'm going to take one. You might want to take a beach towel, lay them all in there flat. I'm a proponent of flat packing rather than the round, balled up packing that everybody's been talking about lately. The problem with that balled up round thing is it might take some wrinkles out, but it's got two disadvantages. First of all, it feels like you're carrying a brick in your suitcase, and secondly, since they're all balled up like that, you've got a lot of work after you arrive taking them all apart and hanging them up or putting them in a drawer or whatever. So I have a little better tip for you, I think. Also at this level, I start putting shoes. One thing I'm sure most of you would know intuitively, wear your biggest shoes. If your tennis shoes are your biggest shoes, wear those while you're traveling, and put your small dress shoes or sandals or whatever in your suitcase. I put them with the shoe side of the street side against the outside of the suitcase. And these don't really take up that much room, and you can't really hurt them. I mean, they might roll up a little bit, but they'll be fine after you wear them. So you want to put everything in here that you don't mind having flattened out a little bit, because the next layer is going to add a little weight to this section. Okay, now we're going to start the packing process. The best thing to start with is a suit hanger. These are very inexpensive. You can get them everywhere. And even though they've changed coat hangers through the years, these are pretty much basic. I think this one's pretty old, and I looked at one the other day and it was exactly like it. So they're pretty easy to come by. Now on this, I have hung 2 pairs of culottes. I particularly like to wear culottes, especially in the summer, because several reasons of the modesty of having the shorts inside, and also because they can really be dressed up quite well to look like a very nice outfit in the evening. And they're great for the daytime as well, with just maybe a little polo shirt or knit top or whatever. And I have here a pair of black ones, and also a pair of print ones, which can be worn with all kinds of different tops. And if you'll notice, these do not wrinkle very much. Even when I get them out of the dryer, I very rarely see any wrinkles in them. So they're particularly wonderful for traveling. Now I'm going to tell you what we're going to do with these. Okay, you can see here that I've put a polo shirt on top of the culottes. I'll show you here, if you remember those. Now, this is a really, really nice golf shirt because it's one of those wicking kind that you don't sweat in them, and also they don't wrinkle. They're just wonderful for that. You could also put a knit shirt on top of the culottes, something in the middle that you're pretty sure won't get too terribly wrinkled. Okay, now we're going to go one more layer. On top of these, you can see the turquoise shirt showing through there. I've added this ironed blouse. And I know that's a real problem when you travel, that if you iron something, it's not going to look ironed when you get there. But you'll see later that this does look quite well when we arrive. Now here's the simple secret ingredient, a plastic bag. I like cleaning bags the best but since I don't really send a lot of clothes to the cleaner anymore, I kind of collect whatever plastic bags I can find. And it's better if they're just a little bit longer than the item, so you've got some cushioning to use with them. And you just make a little package out of a few clothes at a time. Now the great part about this is that you can have as many packages as you want depending on the size of your suitcase. When I went on a cruise, I did the same thing, but I had a lot of bags like this. And it seems to work best if you don't put a whole lot of clothes inside your little package. But I found that I have at times put a lot of clothes in there and it still looks about the same when I arrive. Okay, now I'm going to show you what we do with the dresses. I have two dresses here. The one on the left is a great little dress to travel with because it just doesn't wrinkle and it's so nice and comfortable to wear on a trip. And you can just dress it up or down, or depending with your accessories and so forth. And here's a dress that is actually ironed. It has a lace dress over an overskirt. And I don't know if you noticed down at the bottom, it has like built-in wrinkles. That just happened to be the style of the dress when I got it. I thought it was kind of different. Okay, and now I've put my little knitted jacket that I wear with it because it's sleeveless, so I have some versatility if I want to wear it with or without the jacket. Okay, now the next step. As you can see here, I've put the two dresses together, and on top of them I've hung another ironed top, one of my favorites, and this is going to make my package. Now I could put a lot more on here, but this will be just a good one for demonstration purposes. Now, if you notice the wire hangers, I didn't mention that earlier. These are really great to take when you travel, especially if you've got a lot of them. Because when you come home, if you've collected a lot of souvenirs, you don't care so much whether your clothes are hung up because you're just going to throw them in the laundry anyway. So if worse comes to worse and you need some room, you just leave the hangers in the closet. They're always happy to have extra hangers. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what we do with this. I think you might have already guessed it. Another plastic bag. I'm giving a little advertisement to Belk. This is a nice long dress hanger. Again, if you can get it a little bit longer than the item, it's perfect. Now, another thing that we could put in this package would be just a simple pants hanger with long pants on it. And you could just put them right inside, or you could have a separate package for your pants too. A lot of times I put them right inside because then they're on the outside and it kind of protects the inside clothes a little better. Now this is where you start packing the clothes. I've got the dress package here. That's the longer one. Now we're going to fold it and try to get about the width of the suitcase. I like to use all the space I can because then it keeps it flatter. So yeah, flatten it as you go. Okay, now we're just going to set it in here as flat as we can get it. Pushing out the sides. And now we've got our other package, which was the culottes and the ironed blouse. And we're going to do the same thing. Put it in the top. Okay, now, I don't know about you all, but I'm usually using my makeup bag until the very last. So I'm going to put it in after I pack on top of this. Flatten it out. Okay. Now, if that were all that we needed to take, we'd be fine. We've got plenty of room in the suitcase. However, I have this little quirk. I have to take my blanket or I can't sleep. So I'm going to show you that I can put this blanket in here on top of the clothes and they'll still look great when we get there. And we're lucky this time. Lots of times this is already full and I have to cram this blanket in on top of a whole bunch of clothes. But this time it's going to fit just perfectly. Okay, I'm going to zip it up. And we're ready to go. Okay, we've arrived at the hotel. We're getting ready to unpack. Put it up. Of course, we can toss the blanket out. Get this for the bathroom. And now we've got our packages. All we're going to be able to have to do is hang them up. But first I want to show you how they look. And you can see when we pull the plastic back that the blue top that we ironed is perfectly wrinkle-free after traveling all day. And the dress and the jacket under it are wrinkle-free as well. Except for where it's supposed to be wrinkled. Then I think this is really phenomenal. This is the red blouse, which had to be ironed, not a wrinkle in it. And the same with the items under it. This nice golf shirt. It doesn't wrinkle anyway very much. It looks great. And everything is ready to wear. All you have to do is take the plastic bag off, hang it up in the closet, and you're ready to go out and have fun.